Hello, I'm Logan. Second time trying to record this because my audio decided to fuck up. The device I'm running wasn't like staying on the fucking phone, so I was like, well, shit, you know. And I got like 3 minutes into the recording. I was like, oh, fuck. But anyway, not the best introduction, but I don't care. So, I want to talk about relationships with other people, whether it be friendships, romantic relationships, family, you name it, you know. And I had it pretty fucking rough with other people, and I'm the kind of person that likes to be connected to people, you know. Not everybody's like that, but I think everybody needs that in their life, right? So, but excuse me. There's a bunch of turkeys over there. It's pretty fucking cool. So I grew up in this apartment for the first 4 years of my life, and life was pretty easy for a bit. Because you really don't know what's going on when you're a kid, right? So, like I said, I didn't. But one of the experiences I had was my dad took a chair to my mom. Didn't actually hit her, but lifted it up and was like, "Hey, bitch," you know. But yeah, it was something a little kid really shouldn't see, and kind of stuck with me throughout these years, right? Pardon me. It's kind of windy here. And yeah, it was nuts. So I remember that happening as a kid, and then it's kind of when I realized that, kind of the first realization that like life isn't fucking hunky-dory dory, you know. So there was a lot of arguments between my parents, just, you know, calling them drug addicts back and forth each other, you know, because my mom, through most of my life, she's a drug addict. She started with like painkillers and turned into Adderall and all that bullshit. And like here's another rant I'm gonna go on. Basically, that stuff will fuck with your head, and I don't think people should be taking it. You shouldn't be trusting these fucking psychiatrists to diagnose you with something and give you medication to fix it. What you really should be doing is fixing your own health, like your physical health, eating the right foods, and that will help you mentally, you know. It's the only way to be healthy. I like this again. There we go. So yeah. We moved over to a suburb when I was about 4, and there was a lot of arguments between me and my mom. My dad wasn't really always in the picture. I don't remember exactly when, but my mom didn't want him around, and my mom was a fucking whore. Like, seriously. Like, she still is. I don't know how many fucking guys she's seen or slept with throughout these years, but it's a lot. So, remember, I think it was around 7 or 8, my dad had to move out. And he moved to this little town about half an hour from where I live. when we were living in the suburbs. And one thing I remember about being there with my dad was that it was a hell of a lot better than fucking being with my mom. That's for sure. Because my mom's a fucking cunt, like I said. I feel the need to reiterate that. But yeah, so my mom's a cunt. Treated me like shit. She would gaslight me, say a bunch of other crap, and I would go over to like my mom's side of the family, and they're all a bunch of assholes. I don't give a shit about them. I don't even care if they're watching this. You guys are assholes. Most of you, not all, but most of you. And I remember my cousin, so my mom's cousin, like first cousin, I think. When I was a kid, I was kind of a picky eater. I was a little bitch when I was a kid, you know. So fucking what? I don't think I'm a bitch anymore. You can call me a bitch, I don't give a shit. But so cousin took a fucking meatball and basically like shoved it in my face to eat it, and I fucking threw it back up like right away because I didn't like it, you know. That's just like, and the other thing about me when I was a kid, I had been diagnosed with like some like hypersensitivity disorder to like smells, other shit like that, and later it was said that I was autistic, which I don't think I am. Maybe you think I am. Well, fuck you. But yeah, so I got that diagnosis, and you know, my mom, she didn't really cook well for me. My dad did, and my dad tried making me eat, but I didn't want to. I was a little shit back then. And like, it was just something I dealt with over time, you know, got used to different foods. I ate a lot way better than I used to when I was younger. I used to drink soda and eat macaroni and cheese. Yeah. So my dad, he was a lot better of a person than my mom was. Treated me a lot better, you know, respectful. Whatever concept of respect I had as a kid, but as I got older, his mom passed away, and I didn't really know her well, my grandma, and that threw him through a loop, and he became addicted to alcohol. And during this time, growing up, my mom got addicted to meth when I was 14, and was addicted to it for quite a bit of time. I'm 23 now. I think last year, or this year it was actually, she was the last time she smoked. But I don't talk to her because I refuse to talk to her because she treats me like shit. And now she's an alcoholic too. But around this time, 14, we got evicted from this duplex because people decided to sell the place to a different guy. And so we got evicted because my mom refused to leave. And to cope with that fucking issues that we had, she started smoking meth. And I found out through her a few years ago, actually, that even before that, she was doing cocaine, you know, all this other fucking shit, right? So I didn't know how to handle that growing up, and my mom, by the way, for context, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I don't know when, I don't remember when. Frankly, I don't care when, but she was diagnosed with that. I keep on fucking this up. That's okay. Sorry if I have to keep on relaying this. My apologies in advance. But yeah, she was addicted to meth, and it was a big issue when I was 14. And around that time, we were in transition, from moving out. But during that time, she wouldn't buy another place, or like I said, she was addicted to meth, and she was using like drug money from her prescriptions to sell to other people. And while this was happening, she was abusing me, manipulating me to make me hate my dad and all this other crap, even though I wanted to be with my dad more. But you know how it is in the fucking States. The woman gets full custody because we fucking what's the word I'm looking for? We treat women way better than we treat men. That's a fact. I'm sorry. You can call me a fucking womanizer or a hater. I don't care. But women get treated way better. They get treated like princesses, especially in our society now. Women get all the custody of the kids, and the father gets nothing. The father gets fucked over, and the father ends up just being a fucking deadbeat dad. It's unfortunate. That's what my dad turned into. I mean, he was on his own for a bit. He was doing well here and there, but thanks to my mom, he was addicted to painkillers during some time. And like I said, he got addicted to alcohol. And I moved in with my grandma's at 14, and I was living with her. And my grandma, and my step-grandpa, he's pretty cool, still around. It's pretty rude of me and my mom, because my mom was mistreating everyone in our family. Me, my uncle, my grandpa, and my grandma. And my grandma was mistreating everybody else because she was so stressed out. My grandma had MS. So she was just pretty much always angry, and she was a clean freak too. That could be a problem, me being a teenager. I'm kind of a messy person, still am. I mean, look at me. But yeah, she was mistreating us, my mom and my grandma, and I dealt with arguments every fucking day of my life. Every fucking day. So it drove me nuts, and it kind of turned me into the person I am now. And yeah, it was just constant bickering. When I was 15, towards the end of the school year, I was in high school at the time, 10th grade. We're towards the end of the year, not the school year. I found a girlfriend, and she was pretty fucking cool for a time. But she had some strict parents that were, Asian, stereotypes. And basically didn't want us to date. They found out, went to a Halloween party, and the mom, basically, female perception is fucking amazing. So they just look at you and they're like, oh yeah. Well, she was more of a judging type of person, but she looked at me and looked at her and was like, yeah, you guys are fucking doing something, But I was with her, and I was coping with the fact that I had a shitty family. She was somebody that I could go to and vent to, and it was really nice to have. Sorry, I'm a little stuttery. It's cold out. Ooh. Gotta get smoke on. So she was somebody I could go to, right? And talk to this shit about this shit. But during that time I had some of my own insecurities where I felt like a worthless person. You know, it doesn't help that you have a fucking grandma that's calling you a punk ass kid, you know, saying you don't do your fucking work and you don't do anything around the house, right? It's like, fuck you, grandma, you know? So I laugh about it. It's a good way to cope. But yeah, it was pretty fucking hard to deal with growing up as a teenager. And eventually we broke up because my own insecurities got the better of me and treated her like shit. And Vivian, if you happen to watch this, I apologize for how I treated you. I'm not going to make up any excuses because there was no excuses to make up during the time I did. But I apologize for how I mistreated you and basically called you a piece of shit and said that you're no good. I was only projecting my own insecurities onto you. And I'm sorry. But during the time you brought a lot of meaning to my life and I appreciated that, but I couldn't get over myself. I only ask for forgiveness. That's it. And if you don't forgive me, that's fine. But yeah, I dealt with that, and I was going in between a couple different places with my mom, living situations. There was one night we spent just in the fucking Walmart parking lot, and I had nowhere to go besides back to my grandma's. I didn't even want to fucking go back there, you know? So, eventually I did, and I just dealt with it, and I just kept going to school. It was really rough. And then 2020 happened. All that shit I was dealing with, right? A year before, I moved home with my dad. And he's living with a couple other dudes. One was a longtime friend of his, Rich. And another one, Kyle. And Kyle, I love you, dude. If you're watching this, I love you, man. I can't overstate this anymore, but you helped me a lot through my life. And you taught me a lot of lessons, a lot of fishing lessons, but a lot of lessons on how to be a man and how to be my own person, you know? And I respect the fuck out of you. But my dad, 2020, because he was addicted to alcohol, I was talking to him about it. I was 18 at the time. Graduated high school. And we had a lot of heart-to-hearts. And I tried helping him go to a clinic to get some help, but he just didn't do it, you know. And I was working in a nursing home at the time. And I was trying to call him, and I eventually got a ride back to the place that I was living at. And he had jaundice, you know, where your skin turns yellow. His liver was failing him. And what happened was, we called 911. He got in the ambulance, went to the hospital. I think he was in there for like 5 days, maybe even less than that. I don't remember the exact details. But he ended up getting shipped to a hospital in a city about 3 hours away from me. And come that weekend, you know how, I don't know if anybody experiences this, but I experienced this myself. I just had a feeling that he was going to go, and I was super depressed that weekend. I just felt drained at work. I just couldn't handle myself. I couldn't compose myself at all, right? So that Monday, 29th of June, and mind you, if that Father's Day is in June, and so it was my dad's birthday on the 18th, 29th of June, I get a call that he's dying from my aunt, my dad's sister. And I go all the way down to this city, and I'm there with him, my aunt, and her husband, you know, my uncle, technically speaking. And I'm there with him, and we have to pull the plug, because turns out he had a brain aneurysm. And they said, this was the options I had. Either they do an operation on him, and he's bedridden for the rest of his life. Doesn't know who the fuck he is. He's a vegetable, basically. Or we just kill him, you know, to put it bluntly. And obviously, I went with the humane choice. He's gone, you know. And I was there, and I know I seem very, like, not emotional. Trust me, this affects me a lot, but you're there and had to pull the plug, and it was probably the worst fucking feeling of my life. I was staying with my aunt in a town not too far away from the city, and I used a lot of anime to cope. I was watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 at the time, and that show got me through a lot of shit, I tell you. And yeah, he died. And during this time, I was with Kyle. We were just fucking fishing, like fishing a lot. I love fishing, dude. I'm going to start making videos on fishing. This is just more of an introduction to who I am as a person and kind of a rant. But yeah, we're fishing a lot, and a lot of music I was listening to. Song Mud Shovel and the song Violet by Hole. I was listening to kind of a lot of that, all those feelings out, right? So 3 months during that time, I was with Kyle and Rich, and Rich was my dad's friend that was staying with us, right? And we went fishing, and I caught this big ass catfish, biggest fish of my life at the time. I'm a big fisherman. And it was awesome. It was the fucking funnest fight. And Kyle's like, dude, why are you fucking around? Because he thought I was fucking around because at the time, I was still learning fishing a bit, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing somewhat. So he thought I was fucking around with this fish or trying to show off, which I wasn't. And then we pulled in this fucking hog of a catfish, like 34 inches, something like that. It's only ridiculous. And he's like, okay, now I understand why you were fucking around. It was great. It was awesome. And fishing is a thing of peace. It's something that brings me peace. I don't know how many of you on the server are watching this, but that's why I love fishing. Fishing is such a fucking, it's like a zen moment. You're sitting there just casting a rod in nature, just thinking about whatever you need to think about, and it helps you. That's why I recommend doing it. And so 3 months later, at the end of October, right after Halloween, Rich passes away. And I know him all my life, and that's something that devastated me. And Yeah, it was fucked up. It was just a fucked up year. That's probably for everybody too. 2020 was horrible. And later down the road, I was working at some jobs that were just treating me like shit. I was working in Walmart, fucking garbage company. It's only now that I found a job that I actually like working, and I'm not gonna explain what I do. But I was hanging out with my best friends at the time, and 2020, after my dad passed away, I lost some friends because of my feelings and my wrath against people, because I felt like everybody was betraying me. And yeah, I'm fucking lonely now. I have one good friend, a couple of good friends actually, a lot of good friends online, but there's 3 people that I care about the most right now, and that's my buddy Caesar, Neo, and Kyle. Even though Neo, we haven't really been hanging out too much, but we do hang out. He got me to try weed at one point. It's my confession. The Zaza, as he would say. So, yeah. And later down the road, I got a girlfriend, and you know, that was pretty cool. She was pretty cool. She was a goth girl, cute, you know. But fortunately, things were moving a little too fast for me at the time, and I didn't feel secure where I was at, and I ended up tried dumping her 3 times, and she made me uncomfortable. And you know, and I apologize to Kat. I feel like I fucked you over in a way with your feelings. I should have been more considerate, but unfortunately, that's just how the river flows, you know. So, and then last year, I lost my grandma, and I didn't know how to feel about it, right? I didn't know where my feelings were at with her, because a part of me resented her, like, a lot, and a part of me appreciated the time I had with her, the life that, you know, we spent a lot. I spent a lot of time with my grandma's growing up, so it was just when I was a teenager, it was hard on me, hard on her, you know, with her disease. So, and that's what I want to talk about mainly. I know I spent like 28 minutes, 32 seconds to get to relationships and what they're about. So what I'm trying to convey to you guys is that people come and go, you know. And my phone's kind of going off. Looks like it's dying. That's all right. I'll wrap this up, but people come and go in your life, and you're gonna have hard times, and learn to understand the people around you more. Have conversations with them, communicate, understand where they're coming from, you know. I recommend learning a bit of psychology to help you with that, and learn to appreciate the people, even if you fucking hate them, before they're gone, because I felt like that all the people that passed in my life, I never got to say thank you. You know, thank you for the fucking times that we had together, and feel grateful towards them, you know. And now I do. Even my mom. I'm grateful for the pain I had in my life. I'm grateful for it. It taught me how to be a stronger person for it. Even if people fucking look down on me. But I don't give a shit anymore, you know? So, be grateful for the people you have, good and bad. Because you don't know what you learn from them until later, you know? It's so cheesy, but that's alright. But yeah, be grateful. Be grateful for your loved ones. That's about it. My name's Logan. See you later. Oh, and then pause.